Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Warren,
This is Jay.
and we the Eagles Collective. Uh, we celebrating a good victory that we had Sunday night game against the Miami Dolphins. Oh man, Kelly Green night. It was crazy. Wish I was there. Everything looked like it was just phenomenal. I know Jay. I know you watched it as well, and just those jerseys were just
Of
man
course, of
magnificent.
course.
I'm waiting for
Of
mine to come in the mail.
Yeah, I
But
definitely
yes,
had brought out the Kelly Green fit on Kelly Green. So it was good. It was a good night.
that's a bet. So yeah, so we'll go ahead and get started with a little bit of talking about the game Sunday night. The Eagles won 31-17. Jalen Hurts with 279 passing yards. DeAndre Swift with 62 rushing yards. Jalen Hurts with 21 rushing yards. AJ Brown another over 100-yard game. 137 yards. Dallas Goddard 77 yards, and Devontae Smith 49 yards. The offense played phenomenal. Smart playing football. Everybody got their touches. Jalen Hurts, we noticed, was a little limpy after that second half, but he had a phenomenal game, even with those interceptions and that fumble. So, Jay, what do you think about the game?
Well, the game overall, to me, the score really wasn't indicative of how close the game was. To me, the Dolphins offense, it really was 31-10 because they scored seven on the pick six with the extra points. So to me, the score is not indicative of the game. The game was it feels like all the games that been going on this season. Every Eagles game feels like we're dominating them, but the score is not indicative of the dominance. So like once again, we have to just find a way to put our foot on teams' throats and build that cushion, two possession leads. We want to do that. That's exactly what we want to do. We don't want to be, just keep having these nail biting games every single, week in, week out. We want to get a couple games of dominance in, especially with the roster we have and how good we're playing on certain parts, of the game. But there's just the red zone has to get better. Little things have to get better.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And everybody was talking about this Miami offense, how dominant they are, how fast they are. Just all this talk about them, bro. But there was no talk about our defense. And our defense came in and showed out. We went on ahead and had we had Josh Sweat with 2 sacks. Nolan Smith, the rookie, finally showed some light and came out and played too
Limited
with
snaps
one
too.
sack. Yeah,
Absolutely.
dominant, bro. Dominant. Fletcher Cox with half a sack. Jordan Davis with half a sack. We didn't see Jalen Carter with any sacks, but we did see Jalen Carter put some people on the ass that night.
And
So
some pressure.
yeah, bro. That was the name of our game Sunday night. Just applying pressure to that offense. And don't get me wrong, Tyreek Hill, he did his thing with over 80 yards. Tua did his thing with his passing yards, but at the end of the day, it was flash. That's all it was. It was just flash versus just some old school get dirty
Their
in the
running game was
trenches
shut
football.
down. Yeah, their running
Yeah,
game was
bro.
shut down. Their running game was
I
historic low for them in the first half in the NFL. The lowest total since
exactly
2009. So run defense, man, once again is the strength of this Philadelphia football team. As good as Jalen is,
exactly.
as good as AJ is, this run defense is what alters the game for the opponent every single time.
Yeah, we only held them to 40 and some change in just rushing yards alone, bro.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like they couldn't, and that's what I'm starting to realize. Our defense, we're making the teams one dimensional. You can't run on us, so we're forcing you to pass now, and now
Absolutely.
with us forcing you to pass, and with other news that we just received this week, like it's not going to be that easy to pass on us anymore. So it's just so much dominance on the field, bro. And like that was a very electric game. I wish I was there. I'm pretty sure everybody that was there had a good time. But yeah, man, 31-17 Eagles. We moved to 6-1, and we got the Commanders next. We'll move on to the news and injuries. So with the news and injuries, the biggest news is going to be Reed Blankenship is going to be available to play this game against the Commanders. So we're going to be having Reed Blankenship back on the field. We probably won't see as much as Sidney Brown. I think Sidney Brown did a phenomenal job against the Dolphins, but I think Reed Blankenship is going to be the best one to kind of fill in that role. The Eagles made a big splash in the trade with Kevin Byard, the safety for the Tennessee Titans. Now, Kevin Byard has played in the NFL for 8 years. He was pretty dominant his last 7 years playing, all pro. He's known for his interceptions. He's known for just taking the ball away from Dak. Like
He's a
that's
ball
what
hawk.
yeah, ball hog, bro. And I think him and Reed being beside each other is gonna be good because apparently they work out with each other. This news came out that they actually worked out with each other over the summer. So that chemistry is gonna be there in the backfield. Um, what do you know so far about this trade, Jay?
Well, what I do know is that Howie once again finds a way to bring a player in, and this time he didn't bring a older veteran in or a guy who was home on the couch. He brought in an all-pro safety that is a complete ball hog, third most interceptions in the NFL since 2017. He's just a good player, He's a good player. He has a knack for the football. He's going to strengthen the back end for the Eagles. Very excited about this. I know Howie just continues to put deals together and find ways to improve this football team day in and day out. That's why he's called Ski Mask Howie. And then he gave away 2 picks that weren't even our picks. They were picks we acquired from other trades. So it's just completely amazing to have Howie, in the Eagles building and just, just all that he does for the team.
Yeah, bro, I agree with you, and I I think we all as Eagles fans, we realized our weakness was in our secondary and just having a solidified just cornerback and safety. Now that we have that on top of the victory that we got against the Dolphins, our confidence level is to the top right now. And so a lot of teams we're kind of can't see us right now. So we can't be on our high horse that long just because anybody can come and knock us off. So we got to
Mhm.
think one game at a time. I'm very interested to see how this Commanders game plays out. I'm pretty sure Bayard is probably going to play, which will be good. Um, with some other news, AJ Brown won the NFC East Offensive Player of the Year award. Um,
Player of the week.
AJ Brown's of the week. My bad. I apologize. The
I
week.
wish he'll be
Um,
player of the offensive player of the year, which we'll
you
get to maybe
know,
later. Yeah,
you know, yeah, bro. So I think
possible.
that I think this is good for AJ Brown. Um, and I think it's good more as hey, we all know about him talking to Hurts on the side of the field, and they say it wasn't. He says it wasn't about the ball or not, whatever. But hey, you getting your yards in. You got this. You got awarded this. Like let's see Devontae get the ball a little bit more.
Yeah,
Let's see Goddard get the ball a little bit more. So I
absolutely.
think we need to mix it up. I will personally be happy if the next 3 weeks that we play, if it's Devontae's games. And then
Yeah,
the next 3 games after that is Dallas games. And then once postseason comes, everybody, bro. And that's gonna make it an even bigger threat, like coming
yeah,
into
you're
the
right.
postseason.
Well,
I personally would like to
teams
see
know
that.
that Goddard and Smitty are there. AJ's dominating right now. He's just on his run right now. But like you said, Devontae can go on a tear. He's done it before. He started off the season pretty hot. But this team offensively, the weapons are now coming on full display because Goddard is now fully getting integrated back into the passing game again after being absent for a couple weeks in the beginning of the season. So the team is forming. The continuity is growing. Couple issues with the play calling still for me. You know, they call a run design a quarterback design run on 3rd and 8 on their first possession of the game. When you're in the red zone 3rd and 8, when you can just try to throw it in there. You understand what I'm trying to say? So
Exactly.
those are the type of play calls that just still baffle me. Why is he making these play calls so early in the game? But then they do things like this: fourth quarter, first team, I believe, since the stat era can be tracked,
Mm-hmm.
to go for it on fourth down and convert it twice in their own territory. You understand? You
Yeah.
understand? So it's just they do gutsy things. Like they went for it on their own 26. On on this is while leading by one possession, I might add. You understand? So first team to do that.
Yeah.
They're just gutsy in certain spots, but I just wish they would just keep it on like that the whole game.
Yeah, no, everything you're saying is just it's on point right now. I think my biggest turnaround to that game was when I want to say we had like 8 minutes on the clock, fourth quarter, and it was 4th and 1, and they're about to punt it. And I was like, hold on, really? That's what we're doing right now, 4th and 1? And then Nick
You call the
Sirianni
time.
called a timeout,
Yeah.
and he went on ahead and just did the brotherly shove. But it's situations like that if that would have played out, and let's say we got the punt, Miami got a touchdown on us, and then let's just say something happened, and then they got another one on us, we would have been in for a long game. Those
Bro, we're
small
getting
little
comments on Facebook. I don't mean to cut you off though.
no,
Joseph
go for
Campbell.
it.
Do you see him? Can you see the comments?
I
I
see
see
it.
Joseph Campbell. We see you, Joseph Campbell. I see you, bro.
Yeah.
We're looking at the comments on the YouTube. So, but yeah, continue, my brother. I'm sorry. Just wanted to
No, no,
get
no.
you.
You're good. No, we ain't ignoring you, bro. Sorry, I was getting off in a tangent, but yeah, just the way that game played out, and how we saw Nick Sirianni just trust his offense, and
Absolutely.
and we just ran the ball down for 5 minutes, just shoving it down their throat, just straight bully ball, bro.
Which
Like
we should
that's
have did to the Jets. You understand? This is the problem I have. So when we were up on the Jets with 4 minutes, a little under 4 minutes left, two times, we
mm,
have possessions under 4 minutes, and both times we should have just been running the ball, salting the clock, same way we salted the clock away with the Dolphins. Like the Eagles have the offensive line towards the fourth quarter where they can just bulldoze people and run over people. So why not just continue that same energy throughout the
that's
whole?
what that's what we need to do, bro, and that's what's gonna take us where we gotta go because we can't just sit there and just let them get the ball like that. We
And
could
look,
have put it down their throat
I
another
want to
chance.
refer, I want to refer to a comment Joseph Campbell said. Our defense has been dictating games. They have been dictating games. And look,
They have.
run defense, like I said, and just the defense in whole as the back end starts to get sturdier, is starting to dictate this team. Last year we were the offensive team that just bulldoze people. Now we're kind of like, I'm not saying we're in the middle of the pack because we're still one of the top five offensive teams, but our defense is keeping us in games and giving us opportunities. You're
They
just
are.
giving us many, especially the run defense, because you're already in the mind of the quarterback when he knows, like, I'm not getting past these guys. The Dolphins didn't get anything besides that one drive where Mostert broke out for a couple runs. He had like 1 for 21. But other than that, he was -8 through the second quarter.
Yeah, no, they definitely couldn't hold us, and I think that's been what's helping us throughout this whole season so far. But this is a question that I got for you too, Joseph, too. Um, where our expectations for the way the Eagles are playing are based off of the 2022 season, correct? So a lot of our expectations are based off of that. But based off the way they're playing now, how are they playing up against the 2023 NFC East teams? We're playing more dominant than a lot of these NFC East teams. And
Obviously,
that's,
the better team in the division. I
yeah,
posted last year when we had a
exactly.
three-headed race. The Giants were playing well, the Cowboys are playing well. And it's still a long season. But when we go head to head with these NFC East teams, we got to take these victories. Division games are usually the hardest games, even harder than sometimes going to a random opponent's stadium. But defense, like, I'm not sleeping on Washington. I don't want to overlook Washington and start
No,
looking towards the Cowboys game and people just think, because it doesn't work like that. It kind of happened with us with the Jets. A lot of Eagles fans were overlooking the Jets game and just thinking about the Dolphins, the Dolphins, the Dolphins, and look what
exactly.
happened. So we don't want to overlook games and think like this team is going to be a walk in the park, because it's definitely not. And we're going to FedEx Field. We're going to have a lot of home support there from Eagles fans. So even though we're on the road, it's like you have a degree to a home game because of the presence of the Eagles fans in the stand and it being a division game.
Yeah, the Commanders end up always being like that trap team against us,
Yeah.
especially after big victories. Especially after big victories.
But they're like that to our whole division. Like when the Cowboys are playing well, sometimes they'll run into them. Washington will get them. Or the Giants. Look, the Giants stunned them last week. You understand?
Mhm.
And that can happen to them too. Washington sometimes starts, playing well and rolling, and then things start falling apart there too. Because that's an organization that has had problems with management and stability with coaching and stuff and building continuity. That's why I love what the Eagles are at right now because every single game, every single week, every single day, the Eagles just build more and more continuity. And we have to get a championship out of this roster and this regime that we have going on with Nick Sirianni.
Yeah, a lot of those players too are trying to get picked up and get better contracts too. So they
Of
can
course.
they can be showing out on us to get picked up. So it's a lot. It's a lot that comes into play. And yeah, you're right. We can't just overlook them. Um, they are in our division. Hell, we can lose to them and lose the game after, and we can be knocked down a few notches in the ranking just because we were overlooking that.
Mm-hmm.
My biggest concern is Jalen Hurts' safety and his injury.
Yeah, of
We
course.
saw him limping a little bit off the field. He says it's fine, but he's just a competitor, bro. He's never going to tell you his weakness. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little bit concerned about that. Hopefully, we can possibly just focus on running the ball a little bit more this game. We did get ranked number one in run offense, so we can use that as our strength while playing right now. It all depends on how we make the next move coaching wise. But what do you think about the upcoming game?
Um, if Jalen's 100%, he's 100%. He's obviously not right now. With the knee brace and everything. I would hope this is not like the end of the season last season where he got injured and we had to really think, what are we gonna do? Are we gonna play him to try to keep this number one seed? You have a little bit of a cushion now. The thing is,
Mhm.
going into the bye week, I'm hoping this team could win the next two games and have one loss because once again, all of us know the schedule does get a little harder after
Yeah,
the bye. So you know, if he's 100, he's 100. If he's not, he's not. Either way, he's gonna go out there. If he's cleared, you know, Mariota, we don't know what we have in him because he
hmm
played with the twos and the threes and the preseason guys. So we didn't really see him with these guys out here. So Eagles always put into the backup position for situations like this. They put a lot of care into the backup position. So if he has to go, it's already been addressed by Sirianni. Mariota's ready to go. But we don't want to think that route. We just want to get through game by game. Jalen says he didn't get injured running, so I don't want to put that narrative on him when he's saying himself, I wasn't injured running, so forget about that. So I put that behind me. We got to keep him out of harm's way as far as sacks and like when extending plays that he doesn't take a big hit.
yeah. We got to keep him healthy. We need him,
Yeah.
especially in the postseason. I get it right now.
Yeah.
We got a tough schedule, but and I'm gonna throw this into the. I'm gonna throw this out there. Would you be more comfortable with Mariota taking on those tough teams or Tanner McKee?
I would honestly be more confident in Mariota. Even though I like Tanner McKee, I don't think like these would be the situations for him to start. NFL, young quarterbacks get stunned and traumatized easily, and that could happen to him. But Jalen is just a winner. So when Jalen is out there, I'm confident the Eagles winning. Whether he throws 3 interceptions, whether he rushes for 1 touchdown, whether he has no passing touchdowns, whether he only throws for 150 yards. I've seen him win in so many different combinations that I know he doesn't have to have a signature game to win or this type of game to win or
Mhm.
rely on this. Jalen since week 13 of the 2021 season is 23-2. Well, the Eagles are 23-2. They've only lost 2 games since then. In 23, they have
Mhm.
won. Then when he doesn't play, they're 0-3. And that
Yeah.
concerns me. You
No.
understand? Because
Yeah. The only reason why I'm saying that is because he was injured last year. Last year he was injured. We had to have
Minshew.
Minshew come in the
And was
last three
the number one
games.
seed.
Yeah. So I'm just putting us in that worst case scenario situation. What would be the best move? I would hope
Mariota.
Jalen could get through those tough teams, and then like maybe after that last game, we can have Mariota come in. Because last thing I want is the Jalen to come into the postseason like injured, bro. That's the last thing I want. So
Absolutely
yeah,
not. We have a lot of cushion. If we could get through these two games and he could get the bye, we could get some healthy, get some health going, procedures going on. I think we should be good.
yeah. So how do you think the Commanders' offense is going to compare up to our defense? Because Sam
Well,
Howell isn't doing a bad job.
he's not doing a bad job, but he's also getting sacked at an alarming rate. And what do the Eagles do? Put a lot of defensive pressure through the defensive line. So, I think it's going to be another one of those. He played pretty well when the Eagles played him last time. He's not a slouch. I don't think he's honestly a bad quarterback. He's better than some of the younger quarterbacks. But he once again he's playing on a team now where I'm starting to see things from other. I snoop around other fan bases and I'm seeing a lot of Washington fans complaining about Ron Rivera's coaching, and there's always some type of dysfunction going on over there. So we just got to get in there, play a smart game, get out, hopefully run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. They were trying to give the ball a lot to Kenny G, and I respect it, but Kenny G is a certain type of back, to do certain type of things, and it's just like I just want to see Swift get more carries, and Swift got more carries, and he did what he did with them. He made some nice cuts. He had over 60 yards. He definitely didn't have a bad performance.
Yeah, he didn't. Let me do a few shout outs too. First, shout out to Joseph Campbell, Edward Kirk, and also to Debbie. Appreciate you guys checking us out right now. I know it's kind of the middle of the day during lunch, but hey, appreciate y'all checking us out and commenting below. And also shout out to Kelly, so Kelly Davis. So thank you guys. But yeah, I think we're gonna have a tougher game, not a tougher game, but they're gonna give us a run for our money this game. And like you said, it's a division. It's
Gary,
never easy. Yeah, it's never easy. Um, the Commanders' defense, they always put up a good game against us. That's one thing I will say. Their defense always puts up a good game against us because at the end of the day, it's a measuring stick for them as well.
they have a good
Where they
defensive
stand.
line too. They have 4 first rounders on their defensive line.
Chase Young,
Yeah,
yeah,
they have a defensive line too. They're pretty good. They're not far behind the Eagles as far as talent wise. The Eagles just have a lot of depth. That's the part with the
yeah,
Eagles that's mind boggling is you got Pro Bowlers like Fletcher Cox taking a breather, only playing 50% of the snaps, 60% of the snaps. Just rotating with guys. That's what I love about the Eagles defense is rotation. And shout to Sean Desai because if we haven't given him his flowers, we have to start because once again, the Eagles defense basically gave up 10 points.
yeah. Sean Desai, he's. I hope after this year, Sean Desai, he gets offered a head coach position. This is just me being selfish, but he turns it down and says, "I want to see. I want to dominate with this defense, and I want to see how far this defense can go." Because one thing that I don't see the Eagles as just a one Super Bowl team. I want us to be a dynasty. I want us to erase this whole Cowboy dynasty deal that's going on right now.
Yeah, we got to
The
change this
Eagles can
narrative.
become a dynasty team.
We can, and that's
Yeah,
why some
the
didn't
the
win
Eagles
last
can become that.
year. This team,
Yeah,
not even to be biased, but like I said, the continuity is just coming full circle right now, and it's just like every single week, every single day, they're together. It's just prosperity for them.
yeah. And I just want to keep everybody whole. I understand with players, contracts, money, all that stuff, but if these players understand that they can become a dynasty team, why not? Why not take that small little pay cut, have these rings under your trophy, and there's deals you can get after retiring from the NFL, just being a
Well, it's
dynasty
to the point
player.
now where players want to come to Philadelphia. Like a free agent
Yeah,
would want to come to Philly for this, this vibe and the coach and the Jalen and everything. The whole culture. And it's what Sirianni is built. And it goes even back to Doug Peterson days. Eagles are just a gritty team. It's just who we are. That's why the brotherly shove they want to ban it, but other teams are running it and can't run it. So what does this tell you? It's basic human common sense. Like we just do it better than everybody else, and it's because Philadelphia does it better than everybody else. It has to be outlawed, which is outrageous.
Yeah, I'm glad he made that comment too at the press conference.
Yeah, I'm glad too. I like Sirianni, man. He's a young coach. He speaks his mind. He's not, he's not a grumpy old guy. He relates to the players.
He's a culture coach. He's a
Him
culture
and
coach.
Jalen, they have full control of their locker room from what we see from the outside. Like I
Yeah,
said, the continuity. And every single week you keep hearing since the AJ Brown conversation, since the AJ Brown conversation. And AJ doesn't really address it anymore, but he said it. That was about a play on the field. You guys are trying to make it into the thing because the media is gonna run with any little story. Same thing with the Donovan McNabb thing. Donovan McNabb tried to get his 5 minutes of shine, saying that, oh, I've been there before, this and that. Listen, you can't compare what you and T.O. had to what AJ and Jalen had.
exactly.
Two completely different relationships. And
Took
I
him.
think a lot of
AJ's giving us his full year. AJ's giving us his contract.
and the thing about AJ too is that you know, you could call him a diva, you could call him what he wants, but when he gets the ball, he produces. So you understand? If he complain, if he did complain, like give me the ball, you know what? Give him the ball. He's over 125 yards in 5 straight games. If he does it again next game, he breaks Calvin Johnson's record. He's currently tied with him for the record. So he's doing historic things. So when a guy like that is telling you give me the ball, it's because he's a game changer, and that's exactly what he is.
Yeah, that's all we got is playmakers. We got playmakers on the field,
All over.
um, all over, bro. And I'm happy about this defensive line, um, and because this defensive line is young, they're learning under veteran leadership,
Mhm.
and same thing with these rookie cornerbacks. They're learning under defense under veteran leadership with Slade learning it, Slade teaching like Ricks, Sidney Brown, uh,
Mhm.
all these guys, bro. Like it's crazy. And like I said, this can become a dynasty team. This can become the Patriots. This can become those New England Patriots if we do what we're supposed to do. And my like I said, my biggest thing is just consistency, and that's where I want to see this team go.
I don't even want to jinx us with the dynasty talk. I just want to get back to the game and put Jalen in
Mm,
back to the game. If Jalen could get back there, I don't think nothing's gonna stop him from winning. The will to win. And like I
mhm.
said, I just want to get back. I just want the Eagles to get back. If the Eagles can follow the same path from 2017 and last year with the number one seed, 2 home games in the Super Bowl, we can write this a nice script at the end of the year. So this is what I'm hoping for. That we can just get back and hopefully through the number one seed again so we can have those 2 home games and teams have to go through Philly to get to the Super Bowl.
I know that's right. Hey, well, we appreciate everybody watching. We're the Eagles Collective. Hey, Jay, you got anything before we get up out of here?
Nah, man, I just want to say go Birds, man, and I'm excited for this week and hopefully, we could get this dub.
And don't forget to like and subscribe to us at the bottom, guys. I appreciate y'all. Thank you.